What's up, everybody? I'm glad to be back in the land of the living, kind of. Appreciate everybody's patience and support. I have had COVID for the last week and a half, so I'm just getting over that. But I wanted to pop in and just share kind of the exciting news that I did, in fact, quit my 9 to 5. It was kind of dramatic how it all happened, but it was definitely the right decision. And I didn't quit my 9 to 5 because I was already, making millions, but I realized that by building someone else's business, I was keeping myself from making those millions. And I've already built automations, like I've already taken on clients and been able, excuse me, been able to deliver real results. And people were asking me for help, and I had, you know, a bunch of people that I could have taken on, but I just didn't have the time. So I kept putting it off or telling them no or pricing it so high that they wouldn't, want to pursue that work. And I realized like it's kind of been in the back of my mind for a while, but if I stayed at my 9 to 5, I would never have the time. And I would always be kind of bottlenecked by the fact that I only have, 15, 20 hours a week on top of the 9 to 5 that I was working to do everything else that I wanted to do. And in reality, the stuff that I do that's not a 9 to 5 was making me 5 times more per hour than what I was making at a job. So it was either take the leap and, continue to go down the path of building my own thing, or continue to work for someone else doing really stupid tasks that were, something an intern could have done. And then I was just wasting my time and wasting my life. So I decided to take my own advice, like the same thing I tell you guys, which is stop treating it like a side hustle and start treating it like a business. And here we are. So now I'm on the path to $20,000 months, and it's going to be with a lot more freedom, more strategy, and a lot less burnout and exhaustion. And so I want to show you, excuse me, kind of exactly what my plan is to get to that point, so that you can take pieces of that and do that too. But like I said, I had already built automations, not just to my 9 to 5, but for, real clients that were delivering results. And so I decided to go all in. And I think, like most of you probably know, I presented at the Central California Women's Conference last week. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? I don't know, on the 16th. And so, whatever, just like as a side note, if you're ever presenting or if you're ever in a room of people where you get to show them a demo or do some kind of speaking engagement, don't just speak and then hope that people are going to reach out to you and knock down your doors and say, "Oh, we want you to present again," or "We want you to come train our team on this AI tool," or "We want you to build this thing for us." Like, you need to build a funnel. And so what I did was I had people opt in to an email list so that they could get the resources that I talked about in my presentation. And then obviously that's going to involve following up with them via email and inviting them to book a call so that I could, like I said, do workforce upskilling, which is basically just going in and training their team, getting paid for that, or getting invited to another speaking event where I could set up another funnel and get people to opt into an email list where I can then follow up with them, nurture them, and then get them to book a call. But so that presentation was such a huge opportunity. I think I got like 150 people that opted in, which is pretty decent. So that's 150 opportunities that I have to continue to educate them through an email sequence, and then invite them to book a call and say, "Hey, how can AI and automation be used to help your business or help you in the workplace?" Or, if they're an entrepreneur, make your life easier so that if you're a one person show, you're not doing everything by yourself. Um, so like I said, if you're ever in a situation where you are able to present in front of people, don't just present and then that's the end of it. Like, set up systems so that you can follow up with them and stay in contact with them for the long term. So whether that's inviting them to book a call or buy a product or push them to an affiliate offer, whatever it is, like stay in contact with them because your email list is like a real asset. So even if, you have a YouTube channel, let's say, or you have a school community, if you don't have an email list and your school community gets shut down or your YouTube gets shut down or you get hacked or something, then it's worth nothing. But by building an email list and being able to follow up with people and stay in contact with them and stay top of mind with them, you're going to build those relationships. And then maybe 6 months down the line, somebody might reach back out to you and say, oh, you know what? I do need XYZ thing. Do need somebody to come and train my team, or I do need this automation built for this really annoying problem that I'm having at in my business. So, and it's funny because as I was looking at the people that opted into my email list, I noticed that there are a number of people that like opted in with their work email. So now I know, I could do some research on them and send them a personal email and say, hey, I noticed that you worked at, the Chamber of Commerce here in Fresno. I was wondering if you would want me to come and do a presentation on how AI can help the people in the Chamber of Commerce, like your members. And so by adding that little personal touch, like I'm going to expand kind of the network of people that I built, not just, with a standard email sequence, it's going to be the same for everyone, but inviting people who are business owners or members of like a chamber of commerce or like a business organization and like continue to nurture them like on a different type of scale, if that makes sense. So the mini lesson here is like, don't just show up to something, like always be connecting with people. If you pursue every kind of conversation with someone as a potential, even if they're not a business owner, maybe their brother-in-law is, or their cousin is, or they have a friend or whatever the case is, but get in conversations with people and let them know what you do. Like simply letting people know what exists, like what solutions exist, it opens their eyes and they start making connections for how they can connect you to someone that might have a problem that you can solve. Obviously, I'm going to continue to build and sell AI and automation solutions that solve real business problems. So automating really annoying, painful problems for people, like I'm going to reach out to my warm network. I'm definitely going to step up my LinkedIn game. I never really got super into LinkedIn because I just felt like I didn't have time. And I already had so many kind of requests and leads coming in that I was like, there's no point in having more when I just don't have the time to do it. But I'm going to step up my LinkedIn game. That means like posting regularly, like sharing wins, sharing real automations that I've built for real businesses so that, anyone in my network, like I said, it's that network effect. So even if they don't need something specifically, they might know somebody who does. They might comment and then it shows up on their feed and somebody who follows them might see it. You know what I mean? So, and also just making connections with people on LinkedIn and then sending them a DM, like following them, leaving a comment on their on their post. Like it's sounds like so old school or like so tedious, but really like that's such a great place to find people who are professionals, who have money to spend and who have businesses or are decision makers in a business that can say, hey, we want you to build something that can help us. But I had a mentor a while back who said that like the highest revenue generating activity that you can do is having conversations with people in your target audience. So whether that ends up just being market research, meaning like you're getting information from them, like from real people that have real problems, but they don't end up hiring you, that's still fine. Like, what they need built, what kind of things you might be able to build and productize down the line so that you don't have to rebuild that automation every single time. And it might not be what you think it is. Like you might be like, oh yeah, everybody needs an AI voice agent. And then come to find really they just need something simple like a CRM integration that connects various platforms for them so that they're not having to do data entry in like 5 different places. But getting in conversation with people is like the highest income activity that you could do. I'm also going to be reaching out to people that I've worked or had calls with in the past, but didn't work with, and just saying, hey, Like, do you still need this done? Like, is this still an issue for you? And like just rekindling those relationships, because I can almost guarantee you that the majority of people that I've spoken to, if I didn't work with them, they probably haven't had that problem solved. And so just reaching back out to them and maybe just repositioning the benefits to them. So it's not just like, oh, for example, I had a call with this guy the other day, and he was telling me that he has an issue with like hiring and like turnover, like churn of the contract workers that run his business basically. And so I was like, well, what does it keep you from doing? Like, what does all this chaos around this process keep you from doing? And he said, from growing. Like, he wants to open other locations in other cities, but he can't because of this issue. And so he like basically ended up being a maybe on the proposal that I sent him. But I think if I go back to him and say, okay, because the one question I wish I would have asked during the discovery call was, okay, how much money could a new location make you every month? And if he's like, oh, like, $10,000, $20,000, then I would say, okay, so that $7,000 price tag that I sent you for building these systems out, you don't want to pay $7,000 so that you can grow and make $10,000 to $20,000 per month at a new location. Do you know what I mean? So really, like, again, following up, like, I can't say enough about following up, but really following up and putting it into those terms for him, like asking him, what is the real world impact of not being able to grow because of this issue, this chaos at your current location? Like, what is that costing you? Because if you could pay $7,000 to fix a problem that's going to make you $10,000 every month forever, wouldn't you pay that money? Anyway, um, and then I kind of alluded to this, but another thing that I'm going to do, and something that I highly encourage you guys to do, is productize your builds. So what I mean by that is, like, rather than building something custom every single time, which means you're starting from scratch every single time, start to productize your builds. So like the best example I could give of this is I built an AI voice agent for a client back in like May, and I realized like the vast majority of like the functions, like the tools that the AI voice agent use, like checking Google Calendar, creating an event on Google Calendar, um, but the vast majority of the things that the agent could do could be templatized or productized. So it would stay the same every single time. And really the only thing that would change would be like the system instructions. So if you could go to a business and say, okay, I have something that's like 80% of the way there, and I just need to like ask you some questions and figure out how your business runs, and then we can get something up and running really quickly, and it's not going to cost you that much in comparison to how much you're spending on a call center or how much you're spending on a full-time receptionist. Like, if you can put it into those terms, and that's what I plan on doing with some of my past builds, but then you can do like leverage the work that you've already done and make more money because you're not having to do as much work. So it still is valuable. So you can still charge like up here, but you're not having to put in all of the hours to get to that point. And so you're able to do more in less time. And that's what I mean when I say like productizing something, or like getting to the point where it's 80% productized. Obviously, I'm also going to be documenting this journey on YouTube, which I have been. And again, I'm sorry that I have been kind of MIA the last few weeks, but I was so busy with the conference, and then I got COVID immediately after, and then I'm like barely coming back to life now. But like, if you have been thinking about building a YouTube channel or like creating content of any type, I highly encourage it, because you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be able to demonstrate your expertise and authority. Not only that, but even if no one ever buys from you on YouTube, if you have like, let's say 30 different videos that you've created documenting builds that you've made, it doesn't even have to be for clients, you guys. Like, you could be like, hey, I had this really great idea for like this lead generation agent, or a follow-up system, or like a call analysis system for like a sales team. Build that and document it and put it on YouTube. And even if you never get leads from YouTube, which you will, but you can still point to people, like, let's say you connect with somebody in the real world at an event, or LinkedIn or whatever it is and say, hey, I like the problem that you're telling me about, I actually built something that's really similar to that. Send them to your YouTube. And by virtue of them watching that content, they're getting warmed up. And the warmer a lead is, it's just another word for saying that they're educated. So they're understanding what it is that you do and how it is that that system that you built could help them. And it makes it easier to sell to them. So even if you're only documenting to like your builds to be able to show people in the real world, it gives you credibility and authority, and it helps warm that person up. And so obviously I'm going to continue to do that. Like I've had clients find me on YouTube because I am showing what's possible and demonstrating like I know what I'm doing. Like I'm not just somebody who uses Claude to generate an N8N blueprint and then upload it and then say it's done. You know what I mean? Um, so like I said, if you're thinking about building a YouTube channel or building in public, highly encourage it. Like you will thank me later. If you're afraid of being on camera, are you more afraid of being on camera, or are you more afraid of not making money that is just like out there for anyone to like pick up and run with? Because this is seriously like the biggest technological and economic opportunity of our lifetime. And so it'd be like saying in the 90s, oh, well, I'm afraid to, buy this domain. And it's like google.com or something, like the point is don't let the fear stop you from from making tons of money and like being able to change your life. Like, I don't know if anybody who's watching this like has the urge to quit their 9 to 5, and I'm not saying like run out and do it, but if that's something that you want to do, start making content now. Like it'll be life changing for you. Another thing that I'm doing, and this is something again that I encourage anyone watching to do, is like make one bold money move a day. So when I say that, I mean like do something that has the potential to make you money every single day. So reach out to someone. Like if you're in a school community, and somebody messaged you about some problem that they're having, be like, hey, I think I could build this for you. I'd be willing to give you a deep discount in exchange for a video testimonial. Or if somebody in your real life, like a sibling or a friend or whoever, but if they've been expressing that they've had a problem or they're being overworked or they're really annoyed at their job, or they're a business owner and it's a pain in the butt for them, reach out to them and say, hey, I have a solution for you. I'm going to give you a discount, and I just want a video testimonial in exchange as I'm building up my portfolio and like building up my authority and credibility so that I can like work through other real businesses. But make at least one money move per day. So whether that's sending an email, sending a DM, reaching out to somebody on LinkedIn, posting it on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, like putting it out there in the world that you are this person that has this set of skills that can solve solutions for people, and see what happens. Anyway, so if you're watching this and like thinking that you want to, do the same thing, like get on a path to 20K a month, or if you're like thinking, I want to quit my job, which I feel like that's a thing that a lot of people want, like obviously don't rush it. Don't run out and quit your job before you're ready, but like start now. Start building things for real businesses, get video testimonials, build the credibility and authority so that you can turn around and say, hey, I have built this lead generation system for such and such business, and it makes them an extra $10,000 a month. Are you interested in something like that? Because I feel like every business needs leads and customers, and this could be something that would benefit you. But turn the past builds that you've done into credibility and authority and examples so that you can use that to pitch new businesses. Anyway, another thing that I want to mention just as we wrap up, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Sorry, I'm like brain dead. This is like the highest brain capacity I've had in like 2 weeks. But I am still starting my free school community. I apologize for the delay. Like I said, it's been one thing after another, just insanely busy, but I'm aiming to do that by the end of this month. So I will add the link to join the free school community or to join the wait list. So you'll get notified as soon as that is live um, in the description of this video. And yeah, if anybody has questions, feel free to drop them. Otherwise, I'm going to go take the dog for a walk and then take a nap. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you have a lovely remainder of your Saturday. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the support. Like I said, I'll drop that link to join the waitlist for the free school community down in the description after this video ends. And peace out.